Okay, well, welcome to the July 13th Thursday chat. We have some interesting things we're going to go over today, but I'll leave that to Matt. So we have a few announcements. First, Charlotte Chase.
I just unmuted. Okay, I have a reminder from both the Hospitality Committee and the Community Life Committee that the August 5th Saturday social at 2 p.m. will be in honor of and in memory of Sam Stern. He came up with the theme, Where Am I? Sheila Pele is taking photographs on the first floor and the Nosh floor, and Mike Ross is taking photos outside of the building. While you walk around Newbridge, see if you are really noticing what you are looking at. And if they may be shown on the August 5th Saturday social, they will be on the screen. And let's see how many you know.
Okay, thank you, Charlotte. Betty Shapiro.
Thanks, Jerry. This is an announcement on behalf of the Volunteer Outreach Committee. Believe it or not, we are in the middle of our campaign to collect boxes of potato latke mix for the family table, the kosher food pantry in the Boston area. And this is for Rosh Hashanah. It may sound quite early, and maybe it is, but it has begun already. And we're doing it at this point because Rosh Hashanah actually comes on September 15th, which means that we have to have the delivery of the things that we collect probably before Labor Day. And I want to give people the opportunity to participate as easily as possible. One of the ways to do that, especially this is for those who may not actually be on campus, may be to purchase potato latke mix online, have it sent to you at my address, 27 Greystone Path. If it's done this way, I will know who it came from, and I can let you know that it actually arrived, and will save you the trouble of schlepping it anywhere. I'll be happy to deliver it. This may require a little bit of explanation to the extent that people may not know why we do this. We're part of over 100 organizations in the area that collect food for Jewish Family and Child Services, who sponsor the Family Table Food Bank. And each organization has its own responsibility. Ours is potato latke mix. And I stress that because it's potato latke mix only. I was at the box this morning and I found Cheerios and a whole bunch of other stuff. Please, latke mix only. And as always, we thank you for your generosity. There are people out there, there's a food desert among the Jewish population, and whatever we can do to alleviate that, we'd like to do. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And David Rader. Oh, sorry, hold on, David. Carol Marlin has her hand raised.
Thank you, Betty, for all you do. My question is, and I want to just suggest, if we send a contribution to Family Food and Service, I can't think of the name again, which is a wonderful organization, which I always did for years. Why that isn't just as good?
That is
To
just
send an actual
good.
contribution.
That's a wonderful idea, and I'm sure they would really appreciate that. That allows them to purchase whatever they are lacking that is
Yes.
donated, and that's a good thing. They're I think it's 1420 Main Street in Waltham, Jewish Family and Child Services.
Right.
And that, you know, that reminds me of another thing too. I'm wondering if people here could confuse this particular drive with the local Dedham Food Pantry, for which we do not collect food products. We collect monetary donations, but not food. And I kind of want to make that distinction in case people were confused. But thank you for asking, Carol. That's a good idea.
Thank you. Rabbi Judy. Unmute.
Thank you. I just want to clarify also, if you do choose to make a monetary contribution to Family Table, instead of bringing potato latkes, that's fine, but I would recommend that you earmark what you send to Jewish Children and Family Services specifically for Family Table, because they are a large nonprofit human services organization. They do wonderful things, but if you want to support Family Table, you need to clarify that's where you want your money to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
David Rada.
Thanks, Jerry. Hi, everybody. It's great to see everybody. I have an opportunity today to present an opportunity for all of you. So since I took this new role as new resident advisor a couple months ago, the thing that has probably worked the best is when I have been able to coordinate meetings between people that are thinking about Newbridge and the actual residents that live here, whether it be taking people to a program or having dinner or lunch with someone. It has been an incredible experience to be able to set up these interactions, and the response from the people, the residents that are thinking about coming to Newbridge has been just extraordinary. So this has been going on for many years. And in my new role, I thought to myself, boy, you know, I think this is something we can do even more of, and we can offer to more people. There are probably people that I'm not even thinking of that would relish the opportunity to help others go through the same decision-making that they went through. So I'm here today to offer this opportunity for you to volunteer to actually be part of the sales process. As I mentioned, a lot of residents are already doing this on a regular basis. So the way this is going to work, Jerry, if I could just share my screen briefly.
Hold on. Go ahead, David.
Okay. 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 So we've created a very simple form that I'll walk you through. It's called our Resident Sales Volunteer Form. And this will be, you'll be able to either fill this out online, or there are paper copies of this at the concierge desk. So very simply, you start with your name, and then there are a number of ways that you can actually volunteer to help the sales team. I've outlined a couple of them down here. So for example, show my apartment. If you're really proud of the way your apartment looks and want to show it off, you could just check this box. You could also meet with potential residents over lunch or dinner, accompany potential residents to a program or a committee meeting. There's also an opportunity for you to attend events with waitlist members. These are people who have joined our waiting list and are considering a move to Newbridge. And finally, talk by phone and or Zoom with potential residents, because a lot of our the people that are moving into Newbridge are coming from far away. So these interactions generally happen after somebody has had an initial visit at Newbridge. So typically myself and the rest of the sales team will do an initial tour. One of the ways that we entice them to come back is to experience Newbridge for themselves, whether it be a meal, a program, and a big part of that is meeting residents. So if you volunteer, you would be actually meeting people on one of their follow-up visits. You can choose all of these options. You can choose one or two, or you don't have to choose any. This is completely up to you. But it occurred to me that it would be a good idea for us to formalize this a little more than it currently is, to give all of you an opportunity to pay it forward. I can talk a lot about Newbridge because I've worked here for many, many years, but I don't live here. So it's only all of you that has the experience of what it's like to be a resident here. And I'm sure many of you on this call, as part of your journey in deciding whether Newbridge was the right fit for you, may have met with other residents. So again, this is an opportunity to give back, to volunteer, and by filling out this form. I want to just point out quickly that for those residents that I currently call on, you know who you are. If you could still take the time to fill out that form, this would make it easier for us to know who we can call on for what purpose. And with that, I'd love to take any questions.
Okay, let's take Carol Mullen.
Where, David, online can we find this form?
So I'm going to send it out via the Constant Contact. I haven't sent it out yet.
What do you mean constant contact? Remind me what that is.
It'll be an email. I'll send it in an email.
From you. It will be
From me.
specifically
It'll come from me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, I guess that answered Charlie Small's question as well.
Oh, okay.
Any other questions? No? Okay, thank you, David.
Thank you, Jerry.
Barbara,
Oh,
Nadich's.
Barbara Nadich, go ahead.
David, could you give us a ballpark figure of how many people are actually on the wait list that are perhaps coming to speak to the residents?
I think it's around 220 right now.
Wow.
Wow.
Some people have been on the waiting list for many, many years, and might never move into Newbridge. But most people, by giving that initial deposit, at least are considering Newbridge as a future home. So part of part of my role and the role of resident volunteers is to nurture the relationships with people who are on the waiting list, so that we are, we're still top of mind for them.
Okay, and Bernie or Sandy Rosenberg, go ahead. Bonnie, rather, or Sandy.
I just wanted to, on behalf of Sandy and me, give your request a plug. It is so much fun. We have had the honor on several occasions now to welcome people to our apartment and to also have lunch and also to bring them to a concert in the evening. And it is just really fun to talk about Newbridge and also to meet some of our potential new residents. So everybody say yes and fill out the forms.
Thanks, Bonnie. Thanks, Sandy.
Okay. Charlotte Chase, go ahead.
Okay, so I was on a wait list for 4.5 years, and I did come to a couple of programs for waitlist residents.
Yep.
Sam and I did appreciate it. So it's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind that the vast majority of residents that move in do so because of a personal referral that comes from all of you. So, you are all our most important and precious resource. So, when I'm successful, I introduce people to you guys, and then I get out of the way, and it makes it really easy. Yeah, Betty.
I was on my iPad this morning doing my usual stuff, and all of a sudden an ad popped up for Orchard Cove. And I'm wondering, does Newbridge do something similar?
I don't know.
It kept coming up, I might add.
Betty, I can answer that one. I believe we do, but on a very limited basis. If we don't
Sheila
have.
Waxman, you wanted to give that answer, go ahead.
That's okay, Matt. You gotta unmute me?
You're unmuted, go ahead.
Okay, no, Matt can answer. He'll do a fine job. I didn't know that he was gonna answer, but I just want to say that the marketing is used in a way that benefits where we need it. So Orchard Cove is generally more in need of referrals than Newbridge because of location and other reasons. So we don't do as much pop-up ads like that. We do a different kind of email marketing or whatever, but we don't have a lot of that kind of stuff, only because at this point we have such interest. If it changes, we would do different kind of marketing, but Orchard Cove kind of needs that right now. So that's the reason.
Sheila, I didn't know you were on. I don't know if you want to add anything to what my remarks about.
No, I think you said exactly the right thing. So no problem. Thank you.
Okay, Sid Josephi.
How is it going, Sheila or whomever, as far as vacancies and people coming in?
Don't worry about it. In other words, so I'll just answer quickly because I know there's a lot to cover on the agenda, and I'm happy to always do this at any time you want. But in the short story here is, because of the way Newbridge is working, because of the interest, because of what David said, people referring, and a general satisfaction, beyond satisfaction with the Newbridge environment, people are calling us. We are very, very fortunate. There's just an incredible interest right now. So that's good. And thank you for asking, because we have to remind ourselves that, you know, we always live to think about the future, not just the moment. So thank you for reminding us of that.
Okay, we're going to move on to Matt because we have a extended
right.
program. Go ahead.
Hello,
I
Newbridge.
have enabled Matt. Lynette, is there anybody else?
I think Lynette will be the driver, I think, other than myself. So that's great, Jerry. Thank you. So hello, everyone. Nice to see you all. I didn't see you last week, obviously, because I was on vacation. We had a wonderful time. Got to spend some great time with the family. And we were in Vermont and missed all the rain. So we were very fortunate. We left the day before and made it back. But as always, there was always one small tragedy that happens on every Hollingshead vacation. And this one was my oldest got sick. He got strep throat. And for those of you that have met my oldest, he's a very dramatic human being. So my wife and I had a really good time being entertained by him for 3 days, telling us how sick he was. But he's doing just fine now. The minute we got home and he got invited to go swimming at a friend's house, he miraculously felt completely fine. So, but it was a great vacation. And I just want to extend a heartfelt thank you to Jess Coleman, Lynette, Chef Eileen. They really did a ton of work in my absence. And it's unbelievable to come back after a week and see how much has actually happened, even though I wasn't here. So thank you, particularly to those three individuals. They've done an exceptional job. So what I'm here to talk about today is something that I'm really excited about. This is the foundation that I've been talking about all along, or the work behind the scenes in terms of our elevation of our dining. I know a lot of folks were saying, you know, what is it they're doing? How come we haven't heard anything? What's happening? Well, the reality is it takes a tremendous amount of work to build this foundation. And we're going to share that with you today. So what we're going to share with you is the new menu. We're going to share with you the new website, and we're going to show you how this whole thing is actually coming together now. Before I get into that space, I want to ask for this community's help. And here is the reason why. Most restaurants, before they change a menu or before they even open up, they get to close and they get to work with the servers and make sure they get everything down 100%. And then they open. We do not have that luxury. We are training in the background. We are putting new systems in place in the background. We are getting ready to launch while we're still providing meal service each and every single day. So we anticipate that we will make some mistakes, but we also anticipate that we'll make those mistakes together as a community. And that will be patient, and that will be kind, and that in the end product of what we will have will be nothing short of exceptional and will meet the requests of the residents. So with that, starting on August 7th, we're going to have a new menu rollout. This menu rollout is all based on the feedback that you gave to Third Plus, whether it was through the surveys or the forums that were held, speaking to Scott or Cynthia one-on-one, tracking Zoom calls. We've been taking notes to capture what everybody is looking for. So this has been a huge work in progress. We've been working on this for quite some time. Now, the focus behind this new menu is choice. We've heard that there's too much food. There's not enough food. This item is too expensive. I don't want that side. I want sauces on the side. I want more sauce. I want different desserts. And as you can all imagine, when you're running a restaurant, it's hard to meet all the demands. But this menu and what's on there was so thoughtfully put together that it does exactly that. It gives everybody the opportunity to make choice. You can make choice about your nutritional habits. You can put together a meal that's less expensive for you just by omitting maybe some sides or going for half portions, or ordering a cheeseburger instead of scallops. You can marry different things together. With that comes the challenges of our front of house serving team. They're going to have to learn all this stuff, and they're going to be adept at it. And that's where we come in, making sure that they're really prepared and ready to go. But again, I'm going to make this plug again. We're going to need some patience as we move through this thing. The other challenge here that we heard a lot throughout the survey was consistency. And so the beauty of this new menu is it does have seasonal items, but it's static enough where the cooks are going to get really good at preparing the same dishes over and over again, which is the same thing that would happen in a restaurant. We've talked about this in the past. There are almost no restaurants on the planet that are going to put out 4 unique meals every single night. The reason being is your consistency won't be there. So that's the important part of having somewhat of a static menu. And then there will be specials that add into that, which will be hopefully exceptional specials, and they'll be based on feedback from all of you. So in a little bit, we're going to go over to Chef Eileen, and she'll be able to talk specifically about the menu and what's in it and how it works. But it's really important to know that these changes that are coming out are because of your feedback. This is going to be your menu. Now, I'll also say this. This menu is not set in stone. I'm going to repeat that again. This menu is not set in stone. We are going to listen. We are going to learn. We are going to adapt. We're going to do whatever we can to make sure that this is successful for our community as much as possible. Some of you might be asking what's going on with Nosh. There's some work happening there on a new salad bar, which includes seasonal fruit, and we're hoping to launch that on the 14th of August, so right after the Central launch. And then we're also working on an elevated lunch menu and some creative sandwich offerings. For those of you that have had an experience in Nosh during the lunch period, you'll see that Sophia, our new cook, is down there. She's a chef. And it's the first time in 14 years we've had a chef down there working in lunchtime. In addition, Carlos is there. And Carlos, if you don't know Carlos, get to know Carlos. His heart is bigger than anybody's I ever met, and he is doing some amazing things. And when you talk about somebody who's inspirational, Carlos is leading his team with pure inspiration. So I think there are some tremendous things in line for Nosh as we work with Scott Daniels from Third Plus. I'm excited about the future of Nosh. Just bear with us. This is a small but very mighty team that's doing some incredible things right now. So Lynette, would you mind taking us to the next slide, if you don't mind? So this is a little bit about our timeline. So here we are today. We're going to reveal the menu. And tomorrow in my letter, the menu will be attached. So you can actually see it and go through it in detail. And take your time with it, because there's some interesting things to talk about there in terms of the menu. And then on July 18th, I want to invite you all to the wind down. We're going to do a special tasting of all the new menu items. And so if you come to the wind down, you'll get to taste the food, you'll get to test it, you'll get to give your feedback on comment cards, and be able to tell us what you think of the new menu. And then we'll take that, we'll take it back. Hopefully it's all positive, but if it's not, we're prepared for that too, and we'll adapt as necessary. Then on July 27th, we'll share the feedback that we got during that tasting. And we'll have a great conversation as a community about where we go from there. And then it's time, August 7th, that is launch day. We have already started training the front of the house staff on the new menu, on how it works, on how you enter it. So there's a ton of work happening there. So I'm really excited about this. It's been a long time in the making. I've wanted to just tell everybody what's going on, but in a community, you have to be careful with what you share and when you share it, because you have to be ready and prepared to back it up when you do share it. But we are finally at that point. Without further ado, Chef Eileen, I invite you to share your tremendous menu that you've built with your team and the Third Plus team.
All right, thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Chef.
Hi, everybody. Hope all is well. First of all, I just want to start by saying on August 7th, we are extending our hours to support reservations, the challenging reservations. So we're starting at 4:45 and finishing at 7 p.m. So that is on August 7th. We're extending our hours, starting Centro at 4:45 p.m. Now, the new menu is all a la carte, and we do offer a lot of starters and entrees and sides, and it is solely for you to customize your meals. Some of these are including the jumbo scallops, the veal parmesan, and the eggplant Napoleon. And we will also be still offering an entree of the day, soup of the day, starter of the day, side of the day. We will be also having the chef salad of the week. And then obviously for desserts, we have some staple desserts done by our baker, Doug. And that will include like a flourless chocolate cake, sugar-free apple pie, special of the dessert special of the day, as well as ice creams. Now, to look at the menu, I'm not going to go line for line, but I do want to kind of highlight a couple of areas. For instance, the starters, we still kept your soup of the day and your chicken soup, but we did add, when Chef Patrick did add some of the appetizers, we did add the petit cheese, which is smoked Gouda, one of Chef Patrick's favorite cheeses. And we're also introducing a rosemary infused cracker and fig jam to that petit cheese, which I think you will like. And chicken wings, they run out the door, so they do, so they're very popular. We do also have our stable salads, and we do have a salad of the week with your choice of dressings, and you have 5 different options on the salad toppings and proteins. Now, from the sea, I'd like to highlight the crab cakes. They were our appetizers. So we did put them onto this area as a small portion for an entree size. And we did add the jumbo scallops to the menu because that seems to be very popular with everybody. But if you want to have it as a lighter fare, you can keep it simple with your poached salmon or seared salmon. And as you can see, you can have it rare, medium, or well done, because we got some feedback, residents like that, and also your grilled shrimp. Now for the vegetarian section, you do have the eggplant Napoleon, as well as there will be vegetarian options during the daily entrees during the week. We have added a lot more sauces to the raviolis. I think you have about 6 choices of sauces on the raviolis. And also we had added a French omelette. But if you feel like that night just having scrambled eggs instead, you can have the scrambled eggs. So everything is written on the menu and there is no secrets. Now, moving on to the sandwiches, we added the 3-grain burger, which is going to be our vegan option with our vegan cheddar. And also we're introducing the crispy haddock sandwich, which is something a little, just a little different, and we'll see how that goes. Poultry and meats. The veal is still a very popular item, but I kind of want to talk about the steaks. So for our large and our small portions, we decided we go with, for the smaller portions, we have the 5-ounce tenderloin. The steak tips are 6 ounces if you want to go a little bit more, but if you want a larger steak, you have the 10-ounce club sirloin. So that's 3 choices of steak. You have for your starches, you got your 5 options in starches, plus your starch of the day. And you also have 3 options on your vegetables, plus your vegetable of the day. And as you can see, we added our sliced tomatoes to that because it was very popular. And then we also added the beverages. We did add the Arnold Palmer because I see a lot of that going in the restaurants. And we also added Pellegrino as well, just for something a little different. All right, so just to recap what Matt was saying earlier on, we're going to be sending out the copies tomorrow and in printed form so you can take a look. I would like you to invite you to the wind down on Tuesday, and the time will be from 11:30 to 12:30 in the Central Restaurant. We will have sign-up sheets just at Joe's desk, and the reason why we ask you to sign up is we just need to kind of know what numbers we have to make sure we have ordered enough food. So if you can sign up, we would really appreciate it. And also just to let you know, when you see the menus tomorrow, we will be doing a buffet on Tuesday night, trying to get the tasting organized and then trying to do a full menu that night. It's kind of like a lot on our cooks. So we will have a buffet on Tuesday night. But we are looking forward to meeting you all on Tuesday for the tasting. And like Matt said, we do have the comment cards as well. We'll have all the nutritional information there. We'll have the menus if you want to talk to us about menus. That's where you can get all the information. Then July 27th, we will be here again for the Zoom chat for some of your feedback. And then August 7th, again, we're rolling out with the new dinner menu. So thank you.
Okay, we'll start with Sid Josephi with questions.
So how would the Copper Beach buffet, is there any change expected from that?
No, there's not any change at all. The Copper Beach is staying as it is.
Okay, Judy Goldman.
I think it sounds wonderful, Eileen. I am confused about Copper Beach, though. How are you going to handle that? Can you be more specific?
So Copper Beach is going to stay the same. We will have 3 options on the menu, the same, the salads and the desserts. So Copper Beach will still stay the same, yes.
Okay, Sylvia Shantz.
August the 7th is birthday night and the menu has been sent out. Is that from the old cook? Is that from the new thing? Or do we just continue with what we were given in terms of menu items to check?
So you continue what you were given with menu items to check.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you.
Lynette, would you take down the unless you have some other reason, it's easier to see whom else might have any questions. Are there any other questions?
Jerry, I'll just add, so again, this will be attached to my letter tomorrow. So everyone will have time to really go through it. Chef just kind of hit some of the highlights. And what you're going to see is you're going to gain maximum flexibility. And so that's the whole goal of this thing, is to try to meet everybody's needs, because everybody has different dining needs. And hopefully this will really help solve that.
Zelman or Sandy August.
Yeah, I'm curious if there's any future that we can talk about in terms of dinner at Nosh.
Yep, absolutely, Zell. That's a big part of conversation with Third Plus right now and Scott Daniels. Scott Daniels is going to be on site here during the rollout of this new menu. So we'll be having a lot of conversation about that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Of course. So the other piece that we've been working on steadily in the background is a website to pull all of this together. Now, this website does not have to replace manual processes that people like. So whether that be requesting something be printed at the front desk, or calling the hostess station to make a reservation. But this website pulls everything in one place, and it'll be linked to Touchtown. So you'll see in Touchtown an icon specifically for dining services. And when you go to dining services, this is what you're going to see. I'm going to invite Jessica Coleman, our Associate Executive Director, who I think you all know at this point, to talk a little bit about the website.
Sure. We're just going to share our screen one more time, Jerry.
Yeah, go ahead. That's fine.
All right, so like Matt said, we're having a new website that we're very excited about. And tomorrow, when you receive the weekly newsletter from Matt that is sent out every Friday, it's going to be a new newsletter, but just that it has a different look to it. So it's jazzed up a little bit. It just looks a little bit more clean. We feel it's easier to read, but the newsletter has all the same information that you've been used to getting every week. So on that newsletter tomorrow, there'll be a link, and that will be where you can click to access the new website, which we are calling the Newbridge Culinary Corner. Also tomorrow, like Matt said, on Touchtown, there will also be the dining logo that you can click, and that will take you to the new website as well. The dining website can be used for all reservations, to look at menus, and also to do any special events or catering that you need. We're going to look at what that looks like in a minute, what the actual website looks like. But we understand that there's been a lot of changes lately. So until this is all rolled out on August 4th, we will continue to send out the foodie in a separate email. So you'll get the weekly newsletter that has the area that you can click on for the website, and you'll also get the foodie as well. And then the week of August 4th, there'll be a special farewell foodie that will be coming out that week. So I really ask that everybody take a little bit of time to explore the new website and really play around with it and see how it works, but also then give us some feedback. We have, similar to Touchtown that the Community Life Department did, we'll be doing sessions. So there will be a Zoom session that for people especially who aren't here at Newbridge with us for the summer, that they'll be able to join, and we will walk everyone through this new website. And there'll also be an in-person training session in Great Meadow Hall. So those dates and times will come to everyone via Constant Contact. So thank you, Lynette. This is what you will see when you go onto the website. It's a beautiful front page. When you scroll down, you'll see pictures of our dining team, as well as some special recipes that will be up there. If you look at the top under where it says Nosh, and that will show you the lunch menu, dinner menu, Shabbat menu, and you can go to orderings as well. But this place, if you click, it'll bring you right to the menu. If you go to Centro at the top, the same items will display. You'll be able to see any type of menu that you want, and we'll be able to pull it up that way. There's also in the first word there in that line is reservations, where you could click to book your reservations as well. So we're really excited about this new website. It really brings all the information that our dining team has into one location rather than having to go to multiple different sources. But really, like Matt said, we're not taking anything away. So if you're not somebody who typically uses Touchtown or uses the computer, you can absolutely still call and get reservations with our front desk, with our host team. So that is it for me, unless there's any questions on the website.
We have several questions. So first, Elaine Oppenheimer. We have to unmute you.
Sorry, I forgot.
We're all set now. Go ahead.
I said, my first question really goes to Eileen. Is she still around?
Yes, she's here with me.
Okay, so am I to understand that the only seafood is going to be a choice of salmon or scallops? Where
No,
No.
I didn't want to read every single thing that, out because I would have you all asleep. But we have the salmon, we have a Boston baked scrod, we've got, what the crab cakes,
Shrimp.
we've got shrimp, we got shrimp
Okay,
scampi,
that's
we
fine.
got
That's
plenty of stuff.
fine. Eileen, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that I was okay.
Yep.
And now Lynette, as far as the website's concerned, I get paper for everything. Is that going to continue for the people who want paper?
Yes, that will continue as normal.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Charlie Small and then Raya.
I might have missed it, but I think I heard that you have to make reservations for the wine down, and if so, how and when?
So it's not really a reservation, Charlie, it's more of just a sign up. So if you go to Joe at the front desk, he has a sign up sheet. We're just kind of trying to figure out roughly for how many people to prepare for. Is it like going to be 20 people or 100 people? So we kind of like to make sure that we don't run out of food and look foolish. So if we could have like a sign up, we have a sign up sheet. So if you could sign it up and see where we are, that would help us a lot.
Thank you very much.
Raya Drebin.
I looked at the website and I tried to make it bigger. Plus, control plus, but it wouldn't get bigger, the text, and it was very small. Will it be made possible to make it bigger?
Yes, so right, were you just trying to do that with what we had on the screen?
Yes.
Yeah, so that was actually just a screenshot. So you wouldn't be able to do it with that, but just like on your phone with Touchtown, you should be able to make it larger.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, do we have any other questions so far?
Zalman.
Zalman, go ahead. You're not unmuted.
When you have money left at the end of the month, will the options be the same or will they change at all as to what you can spend the money on?
Solomon, right now, the options will be the same.
Okay.
Okay, Carol Marlin.
One of the things this does is I have a question about the community table. That seemed to be a moot point when you opened the Copper Beach, but this is a little different because it opens and changes the menu and really makes it so that a lot of people can find things to eat on this menu. But there's still the problem of making reservations for those of us who have trouble making reservations, and not because of calling and making actual reservation, but really planning, where do I want to eat in a week and with whom? I mean, it's just something that isn't ever the way I've operated. I have a very difficult time with it. And I know that I'm not the only one who feels that way. And I just would like to know if you're going to have a community table where people can go down and join in and on an informal basis, join a table.
Carol, I'll tell you, we haven't deeply discussed that. The reason being is Copper Beach Room is set up for efficiency.
I know.
In terms of having the buffet, and that solved the problem a bit for the reservation situation. We'll talk with Scott about it. Right now, our focus is going to be on launching this and having as much success with it as possible.
I understand. I understand.
I hear your concern.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Anna Marcus. Anna? You're unmuted. Go ahead. I guess we'll pass. Are there any other questions?
Barry, if I could just say too, tonight, if you're dining in Centro, there'll actually be some forms with some of the information that we touched upon today, along with some frequently asked questions. So if you're in Centro, you'll get a form. I think a lot of the questions that are going to come up may be answered on this sheet. And if you're not dining in Centro tonight, but you'd like one, just go by the host desk and they can hand you one.
Okay, Faye, go ahead.
Yeah, I just like to ask about the wind down. Did I understand you to say that it was going to be from 11:30 to 12:30?
Yes.
So that's very different. I think that should register with people.
It's usually the coffee connection, yeah.
Yep, the time we're doing it at that time allows us to put out the food. Otherwise, we're going to be preparing for meal service and it's going to be too challenging for us to do a lunch service, a wind down with all of the tastings, and then a dinner service.
I think that people need to know that that's the time.
It's also on the posters that we sent out last week and this week.
Okay.
Marlene Yesley.
Question about the vegetables. Will you be adding other vegetables, or will they only be the spinach and the broccoli?
So we have the spinach, the broccoli and tomatoes, and we also will be having a vegetable of the day.
Or of the day? Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Do you have any further parts to your presentation, Matt?
I just want to say thank you to the food committee. They've been really instrumental in helping us work through this. It's been a tremendous amount of work. Their feedback has been absolutely invaluable from them last minute to help us work through some challenging things. And we're just beyond appreciative. It's really been a collaborative team effort and it means a lot. So just a big thank you to all that have worked on this.
Hey, thanks. Sharon Gouveia, that's why I didn't want to give you a preview. Okay, Barbara Nadich, go ahead.
This has nothing to do with the food. Can I still ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, first of all, remember it's 5 o'clock somewhere, so the wind down is a perfect time. Okay, but actually, Matt, Fernando, anybody, is there any hope in getting the elevators corrected? It seems like, I know that Cone was there, 8:30, 9 o'clock this morning. And, you know, it's the 4,000 building is still down. I saw them working on it. What's the scoop?
Barbara, there's always hope. Don't ever give up hope. If Fernando's on, I'm going to ask him to give the technical explanation for it, but otherwise I'll give my layman explanation for it. So Fernando, are you on?
Yeah, I'm on. As for the 5,000 building, the elevator's down, they're still assessing that. They were in today taking a look at it. And unbeknownst to me, they were actually working on the other elevator at the same time. So both elevators were down. They were just down for about 10 or 15 minutes. I'd have to check in to see exactly what's going on with the 4,000 elevator. I know they were working on it, but I have not heard back from them on the status of that as of yet.
Because this is like the third day.
No, it went down sometime yesterday.
Was it yesterday? It seems longer, but that's okay. It just seemed longer. The other part of that equation is that we never received a heads up either by email or the robocall until later in the day. And bright and early in the morning, there was no evidence except for that when you went down there, the sign was up.
I will check with Victor when he's back tomorrow because my understanding was he's the one who sent it out. So I'll get with him and find out what happened there.
Thank you.
Okay, Bob Weinstein. Bob Weinstein, you put your hand up this way. That's terrific.
Yay.
Welcome to the club.
Now I don't know how to unmute myself.
Out.
Can
You're
you
all
hear?
set. You're all set. Just go.
I turned in late, but my question is, can the Nosh brunch scheduled for a Saturday be moved to Sunday, the following Sunday? So that it doesn't have to be conflict with people's Sabbath.
Bob, I want to say you actually have me stumped on that one. I will talk to the team and we'll give you a call.
I've been talking to some people and I've been asked by some people to raise my hand. That's why I was able to raise my hand, Jerry.
Well, good. All right, so you'll hear back separately. Are there any other questions before we adjourn till next week? Okay, thank you, everybody. We'll see you. Oh, yeah, we'll see you next week.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you.